Cockpit review. And this time we're going DIY style. Today's video is sponsored by SecretLab. We all strive for the best possible gaming experience, but the importance of a good quality chair is often underestimated. SecretLab produces some of the most comfortable and high quality gaming chairs you can get. So upgrade your Commander chair today and fly in style and comfort. Follow the link in the video description to their store, type in your height, your weight, and it will tell you which chairs fit you for the best possible seating experience. Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Down to Earth Astronomy with another cockpit review, this series where I take a look at your home cockpits. And today I have selected out a group of cockpits that all fit within the same theme, and the theme today is going to be DIY, where people have built something extraordinary, where they've actually built something and not just taken off the shelf component and plugged it all together. This is a little different than what I've been doing in the previous videos, where I've been mixing it up with a little bit of everything. So let me know if you prefer a mix of everything or more focused themed ones. Also, if you want your own cockpit features in a video like this, then do send it to me. My email is in the description. First cockpit here comes to us courtesy of Commander Kira Trashin. I hope I pronounced that right. He is the leader of a small squadron called the 501st Legion German Garrison. So shout out to you guys. What an amazing cockpit. He writes his email that he's going for full immersion, as you will see. And he's got quite over the top when it comes to immersion. First of all, I see Whirlpool covers here. Not, and I can definitely see that's a Whirlpool base. That's round, so I guess that's a Warthog. Obviously, keyboards, we have more things out here. He does say that he plays other things than Elite. Let me just find the list here. He also played DCS World, Flight Simulator, Star Wars Squadron. So lots of different flight-related games. We have some VR going out over here. I can see a Track IR thing up here on the top as well. That's probably an MFD, multifunction display. We have pedals down here. Lots and lots of stuff. And I can even see more joysticks over here in the back. Is that another Warthog? I think that's another one. And yes, that was a Warthog, as you can see, mounted here. One that looks like it's the Monster Tech one, so this is pretty standard, off the shelf. Very important inclusion here of a cup holder. That's very important. We can see his rig back here at the back. Pedals, are those the Whirlpool ones? I believe those might be the Whirlpool ones. I'm not sure. I can't remember exactly what they look like. Oh yeah, he mentioned that in his email. One of the things he liked that just, adds a little bit extra immersion is to have gloves to play with. I've never seen anyone do this. It's like racing. I've seen it. Some people use it in race sim setups where they have these, where they use steering wheels. So some people will have racing gloves on. I've never seen it being used for flight sims and or Elite Dangerous for that matter. So that's quite over the top. Again, we can see the throttle here is that's also the one that comes with the Warthog. Again, you're gonna probably tell in the comment section I'm still saying it wrong. And then he has the small monitor down here, which I thought was maybe an MFD, but it's actually just a monitor for monitoring. He says CPU heat. He has the ED market connector down there, voice attack, and those kind of things manages from down here. It's interesting to see the dual stick with one of them being center mounted. I would feel like I wouldn't use both of those at the same time. I could see using the center mounted when flying airplanes. I would expect that he's probably not using the center one and the side, both joysticks at the same time. It's probably, again, because of that immersion factor, he wants to have the joysticks in the right position compared to the planes that he's flying. So he can use the center joystick for airplanes, which I think is a more common position, and then still have the throttle out there on the side. So yeah, this next one is a real DIY setup. This is as DIY as it probably gets. This comes from a unnamed commander in Norway, so this will be from Commander Norway. And what we can see is that he actually wrote here, he used a Porken? I don't know how that's pronounced. It's an IKEA chair, the one we have here. There it is. But as you can see what he's done, he's basically built a whole little box to put it in. I would imagine that is probably the whole chair screwed into this box. And looks like he has support here to maybe remove some of the springiness from the chair. At least that is the CM2 throttle, and that is a Whirlpool control panel 1. And these two I am not familiar with. And the whole thing is on wheels. Look at this. The whole thing can be driven around on wheels. This is a genius setup. Looking at it, it looks like the wheels, the wheel has locks on it, so you can drive it in, lock the wheels in place, and it'll be nice and steady. And then you can sit there, play his games, it probably has a built-in USB hub because I only see one cable. So somewhere in this chair, maybe on the back, there's probably a USB hub where all this connects into. Maybe it's powered, I don't know. Top-down view here, looks really good. The only thing I think is weird is this panel here It looks like they're sunk into to the actual like armrests here on the side. Yeah, you can see here they are. So they're kind of leveled with it. One thing I would think is this would be really difficult to use this lower half of this being right here next to you. I mean, you would really have to get your arm into an awkward position to reach those dials. So I would assume that those are something you wouldn't use too often. I mean, you can definitely get to them. I'm just trying to imagine where they would be in relation to me. You can definitely use them, but it's not something you would use in a high tense situation. Not something you want to use often. Next one here, he specifically mentioned in the email that he don't want me to use his name. I don't know if he meant his real name or his commander name. So just to be on the safe side, this is going to be Commander Dave. This is not really a like DIY as is like a home built setup. But I really like his like clever use of these side tables. So basically he has what looks like a very comfortable chair. And then he has these two side tables that kind of looks like something you would use to draw on, because they have these at the bottom here, kind of looks like they're intended to be sloped a little bit. So you could have paper on it without it actually sliding off. And there's like even a rail up here you can see there that looks like a place you would normally put a pen. So it looks like these are intended as like drawing tables or like sketching tables, something like that. So I put these up right next to the seat, and I just put his joystick on there. He's bridged the keyboard in between them, and he has this weird Logitech thing that I haven't seen before, and I have no idea what it is. I mean, I can guess what it is. It's a button box, but it clearly has the Logitech, even the Logitech gaming brand. So it's not something they made ages ago. Obviously running, I think also this is the X56, but it's the newer version of the X56. We have also, looks like also a Logitech wireless mouse. We have a Xbox controller. That looks like a very, very comfortable place to sit and play Elite. We get a quick shot of the, I guess like of the TV actually. Also Xbox down here, as we can see. And then the PC out here is probably playing on the PC would be my guess. Well done, and very clever use with these small side tables. This is the cockpit and, I guess, driver's seat of Commander Vyrutis. And as you can clearly see, again, we're working here with some extruded aluminum that's been put together. And this is obviously a combined racing sim setup. I think my feeling is he does mostly racing setup, but there's clearly also been some additions here for Elite in terms of a X52 Pro HOTAS setup. One thing I spotted here on the back here, lots of Star Wars Lego. It looks like we have it's a lot of Star Wars. And we can also see Star Wars books. Does that look like books to me? Yeah, it does. But back to the actual racing setup. We have a triple monitor setup. We have a track IR sensor up here on the top for head tracking. So you can probably like clip that onto a headset or a cab or something like that, depending on what he's using. And what I like here is, look at that. You can see the PC in here in the back. So the PC is actually built into this whole rig. Also, we have foot pedals to control that, probably for driving. Yeah, okay, so this is a triple pedal setup. I would assume this could be used for like SRVs. I can see both speakers, but I also spot a headset out here, which looks like the almost color scheme is slightly different. So it's a HyperX. I have the Cloud Alpha, which is red stitching. I'm not sure which one this is. It might just be a different color. No, the mic, and we can see the little arm here. That is for the track IR. We have a Stream Deck up here, which seems to be used for all kinds of things. And then a tablet and a phone that gives him readouts for when he's driving. And he says when he's playing Elite, he's used that for third-party tools, all that good stuff. What looks like, I have no idea about racing gear, but this one looks expensive to me. Here we go. We also get the pictures in Elite variant. We can see it's also running GameGlass here. Very nice to see. Oh, right. Oh, I was wondering what does it do with keyboard and mouse? But you can see here, he actually has a keyboard, one of those wireless keyboards that comes with a trackpad on it. So you don't need a mouse. You basically have a trackpad just as you would have on a laptop. Obviously not going to use for any precision work, but if you just need to like run around a menu or click some things somewhere, then it will definitely get the job done just fine. I like this. This is a very neat cockpit. It's very compact compared to how much stuff he actually gets in here. I mean, both with the PC is built into it. He has his racing gear. He has a triple monitor setup, and he has the HOTAS there. And it only takes up, like in terms of wall space, looks like about a meter. That's a pretty neat setup. I like that. Okay, this setup is from Commander Pajanen in Finland. And you might think, well, Astro, you said you were doing DIY setup. This looks like an off-the-shelf table with some off-the-shelf monitors, probably mounted on like a wall mount and some pretty standard. There's not a lot of DIY about this. Oh, but you would be fooled. First of all, if we open up the cabinet, we can see that he doesn't have a case. He just used the side cabinet to install his PC. We can see here he has made holes in the bottom of the cabinet, probably for air intake or maybe exhaust. I would probably do exhaust actually, since I don't want to pull up dirt from the floor. I'll probably do exhaust here and then intake at the back. We can see, is that the power supply out here maybe? Ah yeah, of course. So that's the motherboard going down here and the graphics card mounted out here in the PCI slot with the power supply over here. And then, look at this, he routed a small switch to the front to like be an on-off switch and some USB ports as well. But look at this little thing here. This is where he mounts his HOTAS. First of all, I have no idea how he manages to mount, I mean, these things are heavy. This is again the Warthog throttle. This is not a light device. How he manages to get that thing on there and stay, I mean, there's supposed to be so much torque on that point there. Unless there's like a leg out here he falls out or something like that. I don't know how he keeps that stable. I would imagine that thing should just go and like flop down with the amount of weight that's on there. And we can see here what he does with his joystick. He pulls out a drawer. He has the whole thing mounted on a plate. He puts that plate on the drawer and clamps it down. And then a little mouse pad and moves his mouse down there. And you have yourself a flight setup. That is genius. And then I guess pedal underneath the table as well. That we just couldn't see before because of the chair. At least I didn't notice them. But this is such an ingenious setup. So those were the cockpit I picked out for this round of cockpit reviews with Down to Earth Astronomy. I would love to hear what you think about these more themed videos where I go in and pick a specific theme and then try to find cockpits around that. Also, please do send in more. I'm not necessarily replying to your emails when you send them in, but I do store them. And right now I'm doing like 5-6 cockpits per video. And I have almost 40 cockpits that I have not reviewed yet. So if your cockpit doesn't show up, it's just because I haven't received it. It's just because I receive a lot of them and I still want more. I just can't make the videos fast enough at the moment. So there's definitely going to be more cockpit reviews coming, so do stay tuned to the channel for that. Thanks a lot for watching this video today, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a like, subscribe, and until next time, I will see you guys in space.